Hey there, guys. This is Jeffrey with Gooth Lawn Care. Hey, how's it going? Hopefully well. Hopefully you've had a great Thanksgiving, and hopefully you're having some nice weather like we are here in the first part of December. But anyway, in this video, I wanted to show you how I go about doing some leaf cleanups. This is actually my own property. And in the back here, very shaded on the north side, this tree drops a lot on the back of the house, and you can see there's a bunch in there. The area right to my right of where I was just standing is pretty thin in there, so I don't really try to mulch any leaves in there. I try to blow it out. We live kind of along a wood line. There's a creek behind us, and so most of this, a lot of times I just blow it into the wooded area. But for this video today, I decided I'm gonna kind of blow it out into that grassy area to the left of the screen here on the left hand side, and I'm gonna show you kind of what I would do on a typical property when I come. I usually mulch leaves quite a bit. Sometimes if there's too many, I'll mow them up and shred them up, and then I can bag up what's left. You'll kind of see here in a little bit how I go about doing that. But what I'm doing here is I'm just blowing these out into the grass where the grass is a little bit thicker. Actually, on the back side of my garage, though, it really is not thick enough. You're going to see that my yard's pretty thin. We've had a wet fall. Not so much in November, but October was extremely wet, and by then there's just not a whole lot of light back in there as the days are getting shorter. So it'd been real wet. The ground's muddy. You can kind of see in the picture here where the grass is real thin. This is kind of still underneath this tree, so there's just not a whole lot of grass in there. But anyway, I take these leaves and I kind of just blow them over into where there is more grass and spread it out some, and that way I'm not going through huge piles. But I try to make it more typical of kind of what a yard would look like covered in leaves once I get them into this grassy area. But I kind of just going around here, getting them all away from everything. That's probably how most people do a cleanup, blow everything out first, get it into the center of the yard, and then you're either going to decide what you're going to do, mow it up or bag it up or rake it or whatever. For me, mulching seems to be the most efficient way that I like to do it. I like the benefits of it too. Some people think that mulching isn't good if you have too many leaves, but every university study I've read, especially Michigan State University, they've done a lot of research, and they say you can mulch lots of leaves and not have any adverse effects from it. They actually show that mulching can help decrease weeds by filtering down in there, especially dandelions. So anyway, I just, on the properties that I do, I really just don't have tons of trees, so it's nothing where I'm really smothering anything. And I'll show you anyway. If I mulch something, I'm not going to leave it looking where there's still leaves on it. But anyway, listen here. I just wanted you to be able to listen in as I walked across. You could hear the leaves are pretty dry. They're kind of crunching. So makes it a lot easier to mulch them. The only thing that was bad about back in there, like I said, my yard was so damp, and so when I do start mulching them here in a minute, you'll see what happens. But here was a pile that I had from a few weeks back. The girls were playing in, and I just kind of pushed them over with my mower, kind of as a leaf plow, pushed them over to the wood line here, and now I'm just blowing them into the wooded area by the creek. And anyway, here I go, hop on the Exmark Vantage. Now on this one I have a full mulch kit, so there's a full baffle in there, so like basically like a push mower blade width, actually a little smaller than that, probably. Well, I guess no, about similar. because it's a 60-inch deck. But I just go back and forth, grind them up, and usually I'll go one time, and sometimes one time's enough depending on how dry they are and how little there is. If it's heavier like this, I'm gonna have to go over it twice. I'll go over one direction, and then I'll go perpendicular the other way, and a lot of times that's enough. Okay, but as many as I had blown in here, I wasn't real happy with the results, just because you'll see, I'm going to show you, my yard is pretty thin back here, so I really didn't want that much pieces of leaves, little particles showing. It probably wouldn't have hurt nothing, because I probably will end up going over this again another time. But for the video's sake, I wanted to show what I do in case I have too many leaves that are left. So anyway, like I said, I just go over it a couple times, and if there's too many, I'll go back over with the other mower, either side discharging, just blowing them all one direction. Sometimes I'll blow them all one direction, and then I'll get the bagger out and then suck up what's left. But a lot of times, like I said, this is enough. I can go over twice, and they're pretty much pulverized. They're down in the turf, and it's not really an issue. But you're going to see here in just a second what it looks like. And like I said, I wasn't real happy with the pieces that are left. You can kind of see what's left right there. I wanted to get it a little bit cleaner, and especially for this video's sake of showing kind of how I do it. So anyway, yeah, hey, mulching can be good. It's whatever your choice is, but for me, mulching works the best, just because I have my mower set up really well for that. Also, it saves me a lot of time from having to bag stuff and then go dump it, and I feel like I'm just quicker mulching than I would be as if I took, you know, let's say the mower with the bagger on it and sucked it all up. You'd have to stop a few times, you'd have to dump it, depending on what you got, I guess. But then I'd have to go haul it off and haul it to the dump or wherever I'm dumping it. But for me, it just seems easier that I do it this way, and my customers are happy because I keep up on it on a pretty regular basis. Now here you can see right here, pretty thick over in here. It wasn't as bad, but on this other end, yeah, there's a lot of particles left. I'm just not real happy with that. I mean, it probably wouldn't be there by springtime, but I'm gonna show you what I do. So anyway, I hop on the other mower. This is a side discharge, and I have gator blades on there. I kind of just go back and forth. Now, like on my yard here, I can just blow it all one direction into the woods, or I could blow it into, let's say, a bed of some sort and use this stuff as mulch, because this stuff's already been ground up really well. So actually it'd be great compost for my garden. But anyway, for video's sake here, I just kind of blow it back and forth, and I do end up just blowing it all into the woods. But I just wanted to show you kind of how I do it. And being side discharging like that, you're sucking up all that stuff. It's pulling it out of there. Whereas when you're mulching, you just don't get the lift to suck the stuff out of the grass as much. It kind of more just filters down in. But I am going to show you in just a second kind of the end result of what it looked like. There's still some pieces there, nothing that you can see from far away. When you get up on top of it closely, you will be able to see that there's a decent amount still in there. But like I said, that stuff kind of filters down in there and decomposes over the winter. By spring, you never know what's there. It helps shade out any kind of weeds that are going to be growing. But my yard's really gotten thin back in here, just so wet, and just doesn't get a whole lot of light. Next year I really probably need to overseed it and try to get it a little bit thicker. That'd be the best thing for it. But not a whole lot you can do when you're dealing with shade, other than to cut trees back and make sure you get enough light to it. But here comes what it looks like, some footage up close. So take a look right here. Here it is. You can see there's still a little bit in there. Not bad, but you can see how thin it is in here. I don't have a whole lot of grass. I kind of tore it up right there. It's so muddy still, and so it really just needs to get a lot thicker. But as I get down this way more, this grass is a little thicker. It gets a little more light. You can see it's not so bad. Okay. Now, here's my front yard, and it is extremely thick. This would be, typical area in the sun that gets good sunlight, and grass that stays thick, mowed at a good height, and it just it has the conditions that are right for it. It gets proper sunlight, gets proper water, fertilized. So I don't have a problem at all on yards like this with mulching in leaves. You can see there the ground's pretty well covered. But you'll see, I'm going to show you here at the end, mulching into thick turf, there's no problem at all where you can even tell that there's been leaves there. It just filters into there, and it looks basically to me like you've bagged it. So on most yards that I mow, not an issue. I just I mulch them up. It's what's fastest for me. Like I said, I don't have to worry about going to the dump. I don't have to worry about hauling any leaves off as a solo guy. It makes it a lot easier for me. So anyway, that's kind of the way I do it. And anyway, we're coming up here on the end of this video. I do thank you guys for taking the time to watch us, to see just kind of how I go about doing leaf cleanups. I know it's different for each person, each company. Everybody has their preferred way of doing it, but this is kind of how I go about doing it. I thank you guys for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and make sure you do, and check out some of my other videos if you're interested also. But yeah, in just a minute here, I'll be showing you the end result. Basically on this one, it was pretty thick. I am mowing at a pretty short height now, just because this is one of the last mows I'll do. And so anyway, I will have to go over this one twice, but you're going to see in just a couple seconds here what it looks like. Here you go. Right up here you're going to see that it did leave a little bit of strips of leaves yet, so I'm going to go perpendicular to those. But right here you can tell where I've already gone over twice. The grass is extremely thick. Okay? You cannot see any kind of leaf debris at all, and on thick turf, look at that, no effect whatsoever. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you.